friggin' topic. 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 There's a freaking topic going on. Europe. 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 Oh, it's a burp. I've been eating protein.
You come through me, or you take your chances out there.
The lost guy?
Fucking hell!
Dum 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 dum. Dum, 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 dum. Got him. So topic. Let's see here. Typical. Yeah. Majestic. Shit.
Good Lord above.
See if I can buy another thing or whatever. Oh, it tastes amazing. It's like peanuts and oats and Cheerios or whatever. Alright, so, we're gonna talk about a topic. It's gonna be non-invasive. Something hopefully positive, I guess. I'm gonna start talking, and then let's just see where it goes. Because... Alright, so, oh, never mind, there's a motorcycle right there. We're gonna get the motorcycle. Wait, how much money do I have? 373,162. Let's see here. Son of a bitch. I was gonna have to. Grinding. I think I'm gonna go.
Miss me!
Bah. No. I'm afraid of assumptions. It's a good one, I think. Not a great one, but it's like that's one of them that I can start talking about. I'm afraid of assumptions. It's like I'm afraid that people will come up with a bunch of assumptions about me. And I'm afraid that those assumptions will make it seem like I'm
give me a break.
like I'm disingenuine or not worthy enough to pique someone's interest. I don't think that there's a lot of
We are airborne and en route.
God dang it. Alright, I'm afraid of people's assumptions sometimes. I think that's why I'm introverted, because I'm afraid that they'll assume something about me, or think something about me that is untrue, or through a falsification, or a classification. Let's see here. God damn it, $5,000? Stupid son of a bitch. My money. Alright, let's see if we can go buy some more stuff. I'm gonna go buy something in town. See how much it is first. I wonder if this is a marina. It's not available yet. It's $200,000. Downtown Cab Company. Awesome. About to go do that. There is a lot of stuff that I'm afraid of. There's only a couple of things that I absolutely fear. Being alone and the other people's judgment. But I fear their assumptions, because sometimes their assumptions can be a reactionary emotion. And I fear their assumptions because they assume something about me that they assume something about me, and I in turn assume something about myself. Because why am I it's like a cycle of abuse, I guess, that I kind of had. I don't know. As far as a relationship goes, I was growing used to, and I think that, I think that other people's, like, that's what it was. And it wasn't like any actual relationship I had. It's like, it had a lot to do with outside influence. And, like to say, for instance, like, I really...
Coyote, definitely a coyote.
I really liked, coming up with my own languages, or doing something that was stupid. Like, basically, I just thought it was fun. And it was fun for me to be able to come up with my own deciphering languages, or come up with my own different coding, or stuff like that, or... And when I was younger, and, it was just a notion, or a, or a, not a notion, but a, but just a quick thought that stops it. A child, whenever I realized that at least my gall, or my intelligible determination sometimes was lacking when I was younger. I spent my time doing a lot of other things, and I tried to do, I tried to draw every single chance I could. Ever since I got that unintelligible saying, like, oh, that's dumb, don't do that, sort of comment, I found it a determinable reason for me to be on the opposite end of that, or not the opposite end, but the but to try to oh wait, you know what, I'm gonna go, since you've been making so much money, I'm gonna see if Michael wants to buy this. Oh, I guess not. Nope, I can't do it because Michael doesn't have as much money as this dude. God damn it, O's. Another 5,000 bucks. Oh man. I'm not trying to create problems. It's for me to talk about. But I'm also not trying to, what's the word? I'm not trying to keep anything in either. No, wait, I don't want to do that. I'll get a car. I think what I really think about most of the time is I'm afraid that other people's judgments will have an effect on what I really call normal. Because it's happened to me before. And, that's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of what I call normal will change because of someone else's actions towards me. Or someone else's choices around me. And I'm also afraid that that those actions or choices will make me feel like I'm not son of a bitch. You goddamn it. Alright. I use that word often. I don't think there's a lot of reasons for me to use it, but
Moron.
maybe simply because I heard it, I guess.
If you ain't
But also
using
too,
it,
that's a learned behavior sometimes. $20, yeah. I think that there's point of interest. Sounds cool. I wondered why my dad told me things. Some stuff like he was just messing with me. Maybe he thought that he would try to get my... I mean... I don't really get my dad. I don't really get him. I get a lot of stuff about him. Why he did certain things, how he did certain things, but... I got a lot about him. I think that's the reason why I find myself sometimes staying away from him now. Even though he's... I don't know, man. I don't get it. I just don't get him. I get where he's coming from, and I get the reasons why he acted the way he did in certain situations. But the stuff I don't get is, I find it kind of, difficult to manage sometimes. The thoughts that go into my head and the thoughts that I see, I guess, I find it hard to I find it hard to want to be there sometimes. When there isn't any reason for the mess that happens afterwards, or the person that's at the end of their patience. I have to look inside myself to be able to find the reasons why they would be at the end of their patience or at the end of their rope, or me being at the end of my rope sometimes in situations where I have to call it quits, or I have to stop, because I find it hard, hard-netted to be able to make sure to be able to see a real reason why I'm stuck in a situation, and I don't want any person to be the reason for that. I see that there are reasons why people themselves deserve what they deserve. I just also see the reasons why I'm not always the one to give it to them. That they have to give it to themselves. That there comes a point in a person's life when they're not only are able to come to a conclusion within something that happened to them, or something that they themselves went through and didn't realize that that caused them trauma. I find that there's a realistic approach to the way that I look at certain things, and the way that I look at certain people, or certain situations, I guess. But I also find that being realistic sometimes it's like, instead of having confidence in someone who you yourself wedded, or you yourself decided to become into an endearing relationship with, that your mistrust and what men do to people, or what you've experienced that men do in certain situations, has led you to believe that someone themselves, or even through someone else's misjudgment or miscommunication, that that this person isn't right for you, and you should be on a different path, or there's just no patience for this. There's just no reason for you to be all like this, and you should know that blah 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 other reasons why you should be with this person, or without this person, or in a different situation. Tons and tons of reasons why you should tell a person, or actually have faith in a person, that maybe the reason why you got with the person in the first place, or maybe the reason why you got with what you thought was a reason, is because you wanted to piss someone off, and you thought that maybe that person wouldn't work out. Maybe that person will realize exactly how fucked up and how free I actually need to be, and how much I actually need to do something with myself. Maybe this person will realize it by the time I need to realize it. And then you just never tell that person. or you know someone needs to heal from something, but you tried and tried and tried to say that you weren't ready in the beginning of the relationship, and even though they didn't believe you, or maybe they thought that they just wanted something from you, it's like that whole notion of women being crazy and men being stupid. It only became a notion because of people themselves not acknowledging when they're hurt. Not acknowledging when they themselves need healing, and sometimes they don't need to be a part to heal, but it depends on how well versed a person is in being able to heal their emotional scars. And I think that it has a lot to do with the way that I assume I got a lot of flack when I was younger about things. Maybe that's the reason why I'm so introverted, is because I wasn't the kid that talked to girls, or the dude that was able to tell when a girl liked him or something like that. I was really nervous every single time I talked to a woman. Every single time. The things I do, the way that I'll be judged, I guess, and the fact that I'll only do things to make them feel comfortable, and when I'm making them feel comfortable, sometimes I'm weirding them out, and I don't know that. There are things that people do that they don't know about because they've gone through a series of traumas, and through people trying to help them, they've attached themselves onto that person, or thought of that person every single time that they go through a certain action in their life, and they think that that person themselves will be able to heal them through their scarring, but that's not the case. And they think that being with another person will help them be a part of what they want to be, or be a part of the healing process that they think involves something, and it has nothing to do with people being smart or ignorant or anything like that. It has a lot to do with how much people's time they have on their hands, how much free time they have. It's the reason why I wanted to make my own business in the first place. It's the reason why I wanted to be able to be my own boss. It's because I don't tell my ass to do any fucking thing sometimes, and I don't even get up. It's the best part. I don't get up in the morning a lot, except to take my medicine and eat some food, and then I can go to bed after that.
Bunch of nut jobs.
found a lot of times that sometimes I wait till the last minute to actually tell someone that I actually have feelings, or that I want to be around them, or that I want to be their friend. I see all the signs and I notice all the stuff, and by the time I actually say something, that person has lost interest. Or I find that a lot of times I mix around signals and I don't get the right signals, and I don't know when someone's being absolutely nice to me just because they're doing something, or they like someone, or they're being there for me because I've been there for them, or maybe because I don't know. I just misread signals, I guess, or just I don't know. Just I don't know things when it comes to people. I don't assume to know things either. I don't assume that anyone likes my company unless they tell me. Unless they let me know with either not a body signal, with an actual, hey, I really like what's going on right now. I don't find it endearing when someone themselves scoots closer to me and then says, hey, how's it going? And that's cool and all. But that can mean so many some odd numbers of things. And if she starts to make out with me right then and there, then that's how I know. I'm not afraid more so than I am. I got hurt, so it's hard for me to express myself without seeming like a goddamn idiot. And I think that's the point. Is men act like they're stupid. And women act crazy to be able to make sure that men, I guess, don't continue acting stupid until they actually are stupid. That's the thing that I think sometimes. And I think that, I mean, that's just my own interpretation of my own attraction towards women. So it's like, I know I'm stupid sometimes. I know I act like an idiot. Like I act like an asshole. I act like I'm insensitive constantly. Or I come up with arguments that are just completely inside of my own head. I know that I'm not like completely amazing, and I know that I'm not the best ever or anything like that. I know that I'm not like amazing. Like I'm not like the best dude out there, I guess. But also I know that I'm worth something. And that something to me gets better and better every single time I get into a relationship and know what I want. When I know what I want from the other person, it's a lot easier for me to be able to get feelings and to be able to build some sort of regularity, I guess, and to realize that person themselves, I have to respect that person's weak points and that person's maybe insensitivities or even the hurt or or the abuse they went through in the last relationship. I realized that that not everything is perfect. I realized that there's not going to be some magic fix-all, and there's not some end to what I think is going on, or what I think is the big picture. Because sometimes people are looking at the wrong goddamn picture. And I'm not saying that anyone in particular is looking at the wrong picture, but sometimes people are focusing on the wrong details, and I guess that's what makes me kind of irked, I guess, sometimes. They're focusing on the wrong details of a problem, or what they think is the problem is in actuality a regularity, or something that happens as a result of another problem. Like, say for instance, people get headaches and there's flu going around. Man, check your water. Everyone check their water. Check the pH levels of your water. If it's too alkaline or too acidic, then that's probably the reasons why you're getting headaches. Oh, I get headaches because sometimes I sit still for too long, and I have to crack joints and stuff. But luckily, right now I'm taking a joint supplement, so that's the reason why I'm actually doing well. I think that there's a big part of me that that sees my problems in every problem. That sees what I see, what I have a problem with, in every problem that I see around me. Is that I can't do something because of something else, or I can't see something because there's something in the way, or I can't see, and it has a lot to do with perception and not a lot to do with perception and less with actual physically not being able to see anything. $13, yeah. Nope, gotta get that one.
That fucking showed you.
There are also reasons why, or assumptions that the things that I see aren't real. You know, they're like, I can't have my faith in something. I can't have my faith in something, and still think that that person or thing is going to be around for me. It's like, I like looking at boobies. Amazing. I like looking at cosplay. Awesome. I like looking at a whole bunch of different stuff, and that's cool to me. It's cool to me that I have a certain ability to kind of see through stupidness. And also see through fakeness too. Because if someone doesn't want me, they don't have to act like I'm not there, or they don't have to act like I'm not right in front of them while they're talking about me. I don't have to hug some other dude because they think that it's the right thing to do, when in actuality that dude, or she tells me that dude, or the girl tells me that dude is such a prick and such a douchebag, and I don't like him because he sexually harassed me. Yeah, I probably did. I'm not saying that she allowed it or anything like that, but I'm also saying that she's still in the bar with the same guy. We are not going to a different bar. So what the fuck is up? Are you stubborn? Do you not want to leave because you want him to leave? Did you have a stint of a relationship with him and then he brought it to a different level and you didn't want it to go to that level? There is always that. There's always a certain part of people who think that I'm gonna think that there's some sort of, oh, there's an easy explanation to everything. No. There's no easy explanation to anything or anyone when it comes to certain people's wants and needs. Or wants and what they want. Sometimes what they want is very complicated. And if people are around to be able to accommodate that, then I think that there's some sort of misinterpretation that one of them is getting, or one person in particular in a certain situation is getting. Either ways, if you don't say a goddamn word, I'm gonna either think that you've been abused by this man and I have to beat him up, or that you just did a bunch of stuff with him and you don't want to say it. Both are still valid, because if you don't want to do that stuff with him anymore, then, and he still wants to do that stuff with you, or thinks that somehow you're gonna be a part of his life, and he's gonna have his girl or something like that, like he's a fucking movie star or some shit. Because that's literally what movies have done to America. They've literally made every dude believe that they're some sort of main character, while in some instances they'd be completely and utterly, like, in some ways, suicidal and detrimental to their own health. There are so many different reasons why you yourself, someone to not be around you, or to not go around you. And the best things that you have to think about, the best reasons that you have to be able to avoid a certain confrontation, because I'm all for avoiding the confrontation, and there's never having to be a thing. And then that's the point too, is where that part of the relationship ends or begins, or realizes is something that I really need to address. Is if you're stubborn enough to be in this club with the same dude who tried to grab your ass maybe a month ago, and you don't want to be around him, and you're still around him, then maybe I don't need to be with you. Maybe you need a time to heal and realize that you shouldn't talk to those people anymore, or you shouldn't be around those people anymore. And in some cases, there are some people that have literally been through abuse and have no idea that they've ever been through it. or people that think that there's some sort of, oh, there's some sort of people that are gonna make sure that they're all right and always check after them. But do you really need someone checking after you all the time besides the cops? Unless you're a child and you have parents and you want those parents to, it's green, yeah, it's green, gonna get the jet, yeah, yeah. I find out a lot of times that there's a,
This is a no-fly zone. Divert your course.
Alright, this time I'm gonna need a cheat, so this is what I'm gonna do. There we go. And trophies have been deactivated, but I don't give a shit because I don't want to lose this money. I find out a lot of times that there are some people that just don't want to give up. And that's the point, is you have to pick and choose what you give up at sometimes. Whether it's people, whether it's things in your life that you don't want anymore.
Red motorbike.
Whether it's a life that you thought was meaningful and full of gainful interest or maybe monetary gain, and you have to realize that isn't for you anymore. Or maybe it's just a relationship that's causing things to have problems. Maybe the two people just don't get along and didn't realize that when they got together at the club or the bar or the place that they got together at. There are reasons why people decide that they're going to end things. But that doesn't mean that they can't be there for each other when there's nothing else. And not to say friends, because there is in no way that makes a relationship that is purely based off of primal instinct to want to just completely and utterly procreate on each other. On each other, yes, definitely. And it sounds dirty when I say it, on each other. So it's great. Dirtier the better. And also the instances of, hey, I like hanging out with you, and I really think that we should bring this to a bigger level. Instead of, oh man, there are so many instances of people taking things to a different level and then hating each other and then thinking that everything needs to take a break and then realizing that where they were at their relationship was literally just completely coasting the whole time, and they needed somebody that they could take that piece of something or someone with and just make into a grand adventure. That little tiny iota of fun, and then just turned it into a complete and utter amazing paradise for both of you to experience, for both people in the relationship to experience on a daily basis. And that's where you need to be sometimes in a relationship. That's where you need to be. If you're not making something every day, and that's, I think, where it ended for me in some relationships. The reason why I lost interest is because of no communication, no nothing. There were just sometimes even just sometimes there was even just nodding agreement sometimes. There are real adversities that every single relationship goes through sometimes. There are real problems that people have to pick up and say, this is the thing that I'm gonna live with for the rest of my life. And if I find someone that finds the same things that I like, that I want to live with, then that's completely and utterly all right with me. Not I'm living this certain way, and if the person I perhaps run into, because everything feels so fake when it feels so natural sometimes to me. Because there are so many relationships that absolutely fail. There's literally there are so many reasons, and I didn't even know that I was on that mission. But I'm gonna do this. Let's do this.
Got away. There's a bounty on your head, and it's mine. Running isn't gonna help you. Ah, maybe I'll just kill you after all.
Okay, enough already. You got me.
Oh, that's better. Now let's go before I change my mind on the whole dead or alive thing. Get in.
There are a lot of reasons why people end relationships, and there are a lot of reasons why people themselves should be in relationships to begin with, because they're not healed, or they're not ready for a relationship. They don't feel as though the people that are around them can be supportive.
How you been?
Oh, I can't complain.
Because I've realized that a lot of times. I've realized that a couple of times, actually.
Sorry for that back there. Didn't know it was you.
Hey,
And
no harm done.
Glad to hear it.
Ha, well, isn't this
I've wanted
pleasant?
so badly to be, to feel better about a certain situation.
So, seeing as we're old acquaintances, what do you think about giving me a pass this time? All I did was cook up a batch, not even a real crime. You know how it is.
Well, let's look at this objectively, shall we? You've shot at me, insulted my rugged good looks, and shamelessly gone after my market share. Just consider yourself extremely lucky your heart is still beating and not being stomped under my foot right now.
Oh yeah, right. I heard about Johnny.
Yes. If it wasn't for the fact I'd made a commitment to Maud and have a soft spot for the mature woman.
Maud? Oh hell, she smells like spoiled chicken feed.
Maybe you can work your charms on her, see if she'll let you off. She's certainly hankering for some male company, huh? What do you think, huh?
No way. I'll take the jail time.
Frickin' bail jumper and I already know the feller. Maybe I need to take audit of my social circle.
Hello, stranger. Who's this?
Hello, Maud. I found this man wandering the streets and I thought that maybe you might be able to find him a home.
I think I can do that. Anyway, let's not waste all day with inconsequential chit-chat. You'll be receiving a file from me shortly.
How much money did I get? $10,000, yeah! All that money I lost, I freaking got back. Amazing. I'm in an hour, and relationships can be hectic if you don't know, if you're not ready for a relationship. Realize that even at a young age, I tried to wait as much as I could to be able to get myself to the point where I actually liked a woman and liked a relationship. I tried to bond as much as I could with the dudes around and to be able to have friends and stuff like that and to be able to do the things that I did. Once I realized that I really didn't need a lot of attention to be able to ascertain my own social norms, I guess, I became an introvert. And I decided myself that I wasn't going to go out and do different things. I think that some people think that you have to be jealous in order to stay in a relationship, or you have to be what's the word? You have to be what some would say in a whirlwind of stupidity.
I got it.
But when you realize that you're not your own main character, you're not in a story, there's nothing to be a part of, there's no adventure unless you make it yourself. You start to realize that there's a big part of the world that you haven't experienced because you don't allow yourself to. And whether you want to experience it, or whether you feel as though you have to experience it, or you feel as though you can't experience it right now because of the stuff that you're going through and you got emotions, and if you don't feel as though you're ready, then you're not. If you don't feel like you're about it, because realize that if you're about it, if you're about being a part of yourself and realizing certain indistinct rights that you have as far as your emotions go, as far as being validated in a relationship, because you must feel validated in a relationship or else it will go to shit. If you don't feel validated inside of a relationship, then you won't feel validated in life, because it's the whole reason why you got into it in the first place.
I lost the package.
They're going down. Don't let those guys make the drop key.
I was doing stupid shit.
Well, I'll be fucked.
There are real big reasons to want to be there for yourself, and to want to make a real difference in someone else's life. And when you really want to be there for someone, when you really want to do the right thing in a relationship, you'll want to do that thing, because son of a bitch! I should have backed off and took him out slowly. Let's retry. All right.
Another package coming in. Drop is near the recycling center. Can you do the pickup?
I got it.
Good. Make it quick. The Mexicans are everywhere right now.
There are big reasons why you should be there for yourself, and make sure that a relationship, if you truly want to get into it, is the right thing for you. I've made mistakes before, but I've learned from those mistakes, and I really, really feel as though that I'm not ready for a relationship sometimes. For the simple fact that I don't want to get into certain things. I don't want to be a part of certain people's lives. I don't want to be a part of my own life sometimes. I want to just sit here and play video games constantly. I know that. But that won't stop me from being a part of someone else's life sometimes. That won't stop me from making what I want to make or doing what I want to do with myself. As far as my business goes, and as far as working on myself goes, I want to be a part of my own life. And I want to make something out of nothing. Because, or at least a respectable thing out of something. And the reality of that is
Fuck! They got the package.
Take them out, T. I hope you can get to them before they deliver the weapons.
You only have yourself to blame.
I really want to build on my relationships, and I really want to start making a new one. And whether that has anything to do with things that I want to do with myself or the people that I want to be able to create, I guess, if that ever happens. I want to be able to build on a relationship that I can...
Careful, T. I think they're coming for you.
I want to be able to make a relationship
I got company.
that makes sense. A relationship that I can be a part of. A relationship that I don't feel like I'm being smothered or being set aside for someone else's feelings. Or that I'm being put aside because of someone else's reasons and not my own. That's not what I get into a relationship to do. I don't get into a relationship to experience someone else's feelings. Not to say that I do get into a relationship to experience someone else's feelings, but I don't get into a relationship to experience someone else's defense mechanisms. I want that experience to be made by experiencing the other person firsthand and realizing that that person... $5,000! Yeah, assault rifle. Woo! There are so many reasons why I wish that I had figured this out earlier. But there are also so many reasons why I appreciate figuring it out now. And it wasn't late, but I'm just glad it wasn't never. And that's the end, I think. I think I'm gonna go set this truck on fire, I think. I'm not trying to make any political statement about it. I just want to explode something. And we're gonna wait till another car passes by, and we're gonna get a safe distance away. There we go. Doobie doobie doo, doobie 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 doo, doobie doo. Whee!
Citizens report a 996 west of Silent Throat Mountain.
Great. Police.
Citizens reporting a vehicle explosion west of Silent Throat Mountain.
That was pretty awesome, actually.
Suspect northbound near
And that was thanks to my parents.
Silent Throat Mountain.
Being able to feel as though I feel anything at all.
Officers report
It's thanks to
a
being
reckless
having an
driver
upbringing.
west of
Having a guardian.
Silent Throat Mountain.
It's good to have someone to be a part of something, to be able to make sure
Suspect
that you're not
50
doing
miles per
stupid
hour
shit.
On, East Joshua Road in Grapeseed.
Don't do stupid shit. And also, you are your own one-man metaphorical bomb squad. You can defuse situations before they happen. You can make it better tomorrow, sometimes just by walking away. Sometimes by making the situation better. Sometimes by telling someone your feelings. And sometimes by making sure that you, yourself, don't feel like you're violated. Or hurt in any way. Because if all you're looking for is to get hurt, then that's all you'll be. I know this behavior is degrading towards people who are pacifists. But know that they're just computer programs. It's software. Oh my god! It's software that is created for you to be able to metaphorically destroy it. Metaphorically. Only metaphorically. And realize that it's fake. Because they're just rendered graphics on top of a template on through a prism, basically. And that's what TV does. Katy Perry, she might have been talking about mass production of TVs when she said prism. She might have been talking about, the mass production of thought, invoking literature, or maybe just brainwashing through. Ooh, either way, I don't care, because I like having something to do whenever I'm just staring up at my wall, looking at posters and stuff of my artwork and other people's artwork. And I think that there's a big difference between mind manipulation and what's the word? There's a big difference between mind manipulation and just guiding your thought to be like, I did this one thing, I want you to be able to figure it out. But in order for me to do that and make you believe that you figured it out on your own, I made this thing. It's called TV. And then you'll be able to figure it out on your own and not feel stampered or pushed on or anything. So it's, in some ways, it can be used as a device for anything. It depends on what you put on it and where you fund it from. If you're funding it from completely only the government, then usually it's probably bad. So, there you go. Also, these are my game therapy rants. And I think about shit. It's fun. And junk. Have a good day.